Hi everyone, and welcome once again to Ruby's Classic Cooking. And today I'm making banana cream pie. So let me just dive right into this recipe. First thing you need is, let me move some of these things around here a bit. First thing you need to make sure is that you have your prepared pie crust. First of all, let's start with our pie crust. All nicely rolled out here in my pie plate and docked and cooked. 425 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 220 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes in my preheated oven. Now you can buy a pre-rolled pie crust or frozen pie crust, just as long as you remember to dock it, which means taking your fork and poking a whole lot of holes in it to make sure that it doesn't puff up and fill the space where you want to put your pie filling, which is what it will do if you don't do that. Now people have special pie crust weights that they put on them, or they fill them with beans or something like that too. You can also do that, but I find just poking it with my good old fork works for me. Now that's prepared and cooled and set to one side till I'm ready for the next step. So the actual recipe, the first thing I'm going to do is scald 2 cups of milk, and I'm going to do this in my microwave, which is a 1100 watt microwave, and it takes about 3 minutes, and it will be nicely scalded and steaming hot. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Alright, I now have my milk scalded, and that was 3 minutes at 80% power in my microwave. Now what's scalded milk? Well, scalded milk is heated, but it isn't brought to a full boil. Now it will sometimes form a little scum on top, which doesn't hurt anything, but little bubbles will form all around the edges and especially on the bottom. I've done this in the microwave, which is a lot easier than doing it in a pan on the stove, which you can also do, but it takes longer and you have to be careful that it doesn't scorch or come to a boil. This way, figure out the timing in your microwave and works every time. So this I'm going to set to one side for now. It's just nice and hot and steaming and full of teeny weeny little bubbles everywhere. Now right now I'm going to take because I'm going to do this pie filling in the microwave. And so I'm going to add all my ingredients to my microwave safe pitcher. This is an 8 cup or 2 liter size pitcher. You can use anything that holds about that much. You got to allow some room on the top, because if it gets boiling really hard, it can boil out all over your microwave, and you want it to stay inside of here, not all over the place. Oh, first of all, I'm going to start out with 1/2 cup of sugar. This plain old white sugar. I think it's known as caster sugar in the UK, because it's fine white sugar. Then I'm going to add 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. It's all-purpose flour in Canada. I think that's strong flour or bread flour in the United States and in the United States and in the UK. Anyway, now I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And don't despair, metric people, because when I do this recipe out in the description file down below, all the metric equivalents will be in there. Okay, so that's my salt. And now I'm just going to give this all a little stir up here. You want to combine these ingredients. There we go. And I'm just going to pour in my 1/2 cup of milk, and I use the full fat 3.25% butterfat milk for my cooking. And into here it's going to go as I gradually pour it in and stir, because I don't want to create any lumps while I'm doing this. I'm just going to dribble this in here a little bit at a time and stir as I'm adding. I don't find I have any problems getting this to stir in here without creating any lumps. It just seems to combine in here nicely. There we go. That's in. Just give this a good stirring. You just stir this until it's nice and smooth, and this is nice and smooth, as you can see. Nice and silky. Now that this is nice and silky, I'm going to add my 2 cups of scalded milk, and I'm going to stir this as I pour it in. Okay, now I'm going to put this back in my microwave on high, and I'm going to put this on for 2 minutes because I want this to come to a full roiling boil. And I'm going to cook it for a total of 4 minutes altogether, and then 2 minutes, then every minute after that I'm going to take it out and stir it so that it doesn't form a big lump in the bottom of the solid stuff. But even if it does get a little solid in the bottom, it doesn't make your filling lumpy. You can just give it a good hard stirring, and that will spread it through the rest of your filling. Now You want to make sure this is thick enough so that when you cut your pie slices, they stay nice and neat. But if it's a little sloppy, if it's a little soft, and if it turns out a little bit soft, and it just won't make really pretty pictures when you cut it, but everybody will love it just the same. I'll be back as soon as I get this all stirred up and cooked. And now, after having been brought to a boil in the microwave and been cooked and stirred every minute, there's still a few little lumps in here, but don't worry, they will disappear. Just give it a good vigorous stir and those will absorb into your filling. Very promising looking as a pie filling, is it? And now we are going to temper a couple of egg yolks here, which I have here, which I'm now going to beat up. And how you temper them, you can use my little fork here to beat these up. Now, tempering your beaten egg yolks. You just take a spoonful of this stuff from out of here and drizzle it in here and give it a quick stir. Doesn't matter, I'm using the same spoon here for this because it's all going to go in here anyway. More, a little more. What I'm trying to do is raise the temperature of my egg yolks gradually, fairly gradually, so that I don't pour them right into here and create scrambled eggs. So I want to raise this temperature in here by adding a little dribble at a time, beating it in here, and warming up my egg yolks 3 or 4 times, and you probably have your egg yolks warm enough that you can safely integrate them into the rest of your bowl over here, because now I'm going to take these tempered egg yolks and I'm going to pour them in here, stir them in quickly, and then take my spatula and scrape the rest of that out. There we go. Don't waste your good egg yolks. Get that stir in here. And now it goes back into my microwave for 30 seconds just to make sure that these egg yolks are cooked. This sauce here is probably pretty close to boiling hot right now, so they probably don't take very long to cook, but 30 seconds in your microwave will make sure that they are done. There we go. Now I scrape out of my bowl, make sure everything's all integrated together. Scrape off my spoon. This is a specialty flat kind of spoon that works really well in a lot of applications, I find. I like it better now than a mixing spoon, than a traditional wooden spoon. There we go. There you go. And kind of yellow looking now from those nice egg yolks. And I'm going to stir in a tablespoon of butter or margarine. I'm using butter. And I'm just going to eyeball it off of my piece of butter here from my butter dish. That's about a tablespoon. You can also measure it in a tablespoon if you want to, but today I'm just eyeballing this. You don't have to be super precise with the butter. Dump that underneath my hot mixture. And I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla to this as well. There we go. Now I'm just going to stir this together. And once I've done this step, I'm now going to leave this to sit until it is lukewarm. Then I'm going to finish off my pie. I'll pour half of this cooled mixture into my prepared pie shell, and then I'm going to slice up some bananas and put them directly into the pie shell. Now, if you do this right away and cover them right up, they'll stay white. They won't get all brown. And then you'll have this lovely banana cream pie, and I can guarantee you, you'd have to pay an awful lot of money at a specialty bakery to get as many banana slices as you're going to put into your own homemade banana cream pie, I can tell you. And then, once that's done, I'm going to take my egg whites. Don't forget the egg whites that came with the egg yolk. Now I'm going to beat these into a meringue. I'll beat those, after that's done, I'll beat these into a meringue, and then I'll toast that off in the oven. And I'll be back to tell you about how I do that later. And here's my filling now cooled to lukewarm. And my bananas, I'm going to try 3. I might need more than 3. It just says a double layer of bananas. It doesn't tell you how many. All right, here I am back again with my filling that's just now lukewarm. And I'm going to put half of it into my prepared pie crust. And then I'm going to start with 3 bananas. And I'll see if that's enough. If not, I may have to add another banana or another half a banana or whatever. It just says to put a double layer of bananas in your pie. It doesn't tell you how many to use. Now here I go with about half of this in here. There we go. And I'll smooth that out. Just a light yellow, creamy looking filling. There we go, that's about half of it. And now for the bananas. Can't have banana cream pie without bananas. These happen to be some overripe bananas that I found on sale at the grocery store yesterday. And that means that there may be a few little brown spots like that, which I'm going to cut out. Anyway, so I'm just going to slice this directly into my filling. Nice thin little slices like this. Oops, pull that off of there. When I get down here to this part, well, I'll put that aside. There you go. I would say that's about a double layer of banana slices everywhere around my pie. And now I'm going to add the rest of the filling, and you want to do this right away before your banana pieces have a chance to get brown. You want them to stay nice and white inside of your pie. There we go. Let's just kind of spread that everywhere. Spread this over all of my banana pieces and seal it all in so my banana pieces stay nice and white and not get brown and kind of nasty looking. They still taste good, but you want it to be nice and white. Seal it all to the edge of your pie crust. Make sure there's no banana exposed. There we go. And there's your filling all in place. My banana cream pie is going to be topped with meringue, which I'm then going to toast in the oven. So now I'll put my pie to one side while I make my meringue and get ready to put that on top of my pie. And if you need to know how to make meringue for the top of your pie, just watch my meringue video or watch my lemon meringue pie video, which has 5.7 thousand views. My most popular video so far. So just watch that one and I do the meringue there. I'll be back when the meringue is all whipped up and ready to go on top of the pie. I've whipped my egg whites until they have formed nice soft peaks. I'm just going to scrape down this bowl and make sure that I have all of my egg whites here. You want to make sure that your egg white has been fully integrated and turned into this lovely fluffy meringue. And now what I like to do is just take blobs of my meringue and just put 4 or 5 of them on here and then connect them. Now these are the 2 egg whites that came from the egg yolks that I used for making my filling. So this uses 2 whole eggs, and they use all the egg yolk and all the egg white, which I find quite economical. I really dislike using a recipe and they use egg yolks and then you're left to figure out, so what do I do with the egg whites? Be careful to bring your meringue down right to the pie crust so that your filling doesn't shrink on you when you're toasting your meringue. And you want to cook this until it's just golden brown. I'm going to be putting this in a 400 Fahrenheit, that's 205 Celsius oven for 7 to 8 minutes. And then it should be beautifully golden brown and all ready to put out to cool. Because first you have to cool it And then you have to chill it for 2 or 3 hours until it's nicely set up. And then your pie slices will be nice and neat and tidy. There we go. And I'll be back in 7 to 8 minutes to show you what it looks like when it's all done and golden brown. And here I am with my banana cream pie, fresh and hot out of the oven. And now I just have to leave it sit till it cools to room temperature. Then I have to chill it, and then it can be served. Now I would say it's probably going to take an hour or so to get to room temperature, and probably another 2 hours in the refrigerator to set up the pie filling nicely. That means when I cut it, I should get nice pretty slices and not something that's going to fall all over the place. Anyway, well, I hope you enjoyed my video today on banana cream pie, and I hope that you will like, subscribe, comment, try this recipe, and join me next time to see what I'm cooking on Ruby's Classic Cooking. Bye for now.